Coming up on Peninsula Beat, we take a look back at some of the biggest stories in 2016. Beginning at Trump National, where the presidential election made big news for Donald Trump as he's elected the next president of the United States. Crime was also addressed by the city, and new technology was implemented to bring the numbers down. One man's passion was highlighted in storytelling from World War II, while Panther football returned to the Hill with a vengeance. It was a golden anniversary for a local landmark restaurant, and the Terranea Resort brews up a new coffee that was a delightful jolt for everyone. The presidential election was the biggest story in 2016. Here in Rancho Palos Verdes, the election of Donald Trump has impacted the Trump National Golf Club in a big way. Liz Brown Swanson filed this story just after the election and joins us from Trump National.
Life at Trump National Golf Course in Rancho Palos Verdes will never be the same.
My boss is President of the United States, and I still can't, it just doesn't resonate. Right now, I think we all have that. I wouldn't even know what to call it, but it's pride. It's to know that we are going to be watched on a worldly level. So we are very, very excited to say, okay, well, what can we do? Let's get together, let's regroup, let's brainstorm of how we can even make this place a bigger jewel.
Since Donald Trump's election as president, the team at Trump National is going through their own transition. They're serving more visitors and needing more security.
It was a very polarizing campaign, as we all know, and there are some people who will never accept the results of it. We understand that, but at the end of the day, we also have to protect ourselves and our staff and our guests, and the sheriffs are willing to do it, and they understand that, you know, they have to be here when they have to be here, but Secret Service has been fantastic throughout the process as well. From day one, they were able to let us know, if you need anything, let us know.
Well, we have beefed up patrol here. Our department is working closely with our Criminal Intelligence Bureau, and they are monitoring all the social media. They've also the radical groups, just to make sure that there are no problems here, to protect the property, but mainly protect all the workers here. We're working closely with the security here. Trump actually has their own security. So between the sheriffs and their security and our Emergency Operations Bureau, we're going to be fine.
Lamina Sheriff Station has added patrols. So far, there have been small protests outside the property, made famous in 2002 when Donald Trump acquired the course after it went bankrupt when the 18th hole slid into the ocean.
Obviously, when he came, he did. Trump National did put Rancho Palos Verdes on the map, and then after that we had Terranea came in, and that was another wonderful thing. But I have to say that this council has worked very well with Mr. Trump.
I can tell you I've got nothing but good things from a business perspective and what he's done to the neighborhood in the area. He has done exactly what he said he's going to do, is making this the best golf course that there is out there, and embraced the community and very quietly donated millions and millions of dollars. I know he has that persona of being brash and lawsuits and all that, but very quietly behind the scenes, he does a lot of good, in my humble opinion.
Both city council members Susan Brooks and Jerry DeHovic were at Trump's on election night and say regardless of politics and past controversies, this oceanfront golf course has a positive impact on the community.
For me personally, I live right across the street from Trump. I think as a city, I think it does add a level of prestige that he's conducting business here in RPV. Lilly and company, the Trump organization, has done a great job of separating the political side from the business side.
The message was business as usual. Let's not get into politics. Let's continue to make sure that our guests are happy with the food, the service, etc.
You hope you'll be golfing with him as president?
Well, you never know what'll happen, during his visits to LA. But I think that would be a very unique experience, and obviously being the president. But, to us, he is Mr. Trump, and he will always continue to be.
The last time President-elect Donald Trump visited his course was in June. It's not clear when he will return and who will now be calling the shots.
What do I think about the future of this facility? I'm not sure if Mr. Trump is going to be able to run it. I believe it will be run by his family. His family has been wonderful.
He will always be my boss, but we'll see what happens down the road.
As was expected in the wake of the election, there has been a lot more activity and now security here at Trump National. And for the staff here, they say what they're excited and planning for next is the day that their boss returns here as the next president of the United States. I'm Liz Brown Swanson reporting for RPV TV.
RPV City Council and law enforcement stepped up public safety efforts in 2016. In an effort to catch criminals, dozens of automated license plate recognition cameras were installed around the peninsula. Liz Brown Swanson filed this report about the need for video surveillance programs.
This is one of the newly installed ALPR cameras now watching for crime on the peninsula.
The ALPR cameras are automated license plate reader cameras, and they alert us to stolen vehicles, wanted vehicles, vehicles associated with missing persons, and we're installing them around the peninsula in strategic locations. There'll be over 40 cameras total when the project is done, and that includes Rancho Palos Verdes, Rolling Hills Estates, and Palos Verdes Estates are all involved in this project.
The captain of the Lomita Sheriff Station says the cameras have already resulted in multiple arrests.
First week that the cameras were fully functional with Lomita Sheriff Station, it resulted in 4 hits, 4 lost or stolen vehicle hits, and the sheriff was able to recover 3 stolen vehicles, as well as that leading to 3 arrests. And with those arrests, they actually found stolen goods in addition to burglary tools. So you can see that it's hopefully helping on the prevention side, preventing other people from becoming victims. And that's very encouraging, these early stats, just in the short time that these cameras have been fully up.
RPV's deputy city manager says the ALPR program was needed to help put a dent in a peninsula-wide spike in crime. All 4 city councils on the Hill agreed to purchase the cameras and fund the nearly $750,000 project.
Saw that residential burglaries were at an all-time high for our city. It was of extreme concern to the council, and public safety is always our utmost concern. And so the ALPR seemed like a very good route to go, especially because where we are located geographically, we have a peninsula, which works in our advantage for ALPRs because we could put them at strategic locations. And we found that when we partnered with the other cities, all the cities would save money because we were able to do fewer cameras.
RPV also plans to add more video cameras along Western Avenue as part of the City Council's ongoing efforts to improve public safety.
We're going to start looking at doing another round of cameras for the Western Avenue area to address the crime that's been happening in that area, because that area is of extreme importance to us.
Now, along with all the automated license plate reader cameras that are installed around the peninsula, the Sheriff's Department is dispatching these ASAP vehicles, which uses similar technology to survey vehicles on the road.
This one's also equipped with the ASAP or the ALRP system, and these cameras are mounted on the top right here. They're side-facing and forward-facing. So if I'm traveling down the street, it's picking up vehicles that are to my right parked or moving, and it's also picking up vehicles that are traveling opposite of my direction.
It really doesn't affect your privacy at all. The cameras automatically read hundreds of thousands of plates every car that passes, but the image captured is just the back of the car and the license plate. Does not capture the driver.
The cameras around us are picking up images, and then what happens with those images? Where do they go?
They're stored in a cloud storage base. If there is a hit, a stolen vehicle, it will pop up on our computers at the station immediately, and units will be dispatched to the area and try to track the vehicle.
So do you find this incredibly helpful then when you're out?
Oh, it's a major tool in our arsenal. It's since its inception, we've captured a lot of criminals just based on this system.
Law enforcement points out that these cameras only capture license plates and that residents still need to be the eyes of the community and to report any suspicious activity. I'm Liz Brown Swanson reporting for RPV TV.
After photographing a World War II veteran as a school project, Thomas Sanders realized there were many more stories to tell through photography. Thomas sat down with Mark J. Doughty to explain his passion and where you can see more of his work right here on the Hill.
I'm here in Rancho Palos Verdes at Belmont Village photographing mainly World War II veterans and also, Korean and some Vietnam vets to help preserve their past and, really try and create a greater appreciation for all veterans and soldiers. Each photo shoot results in a permanent gallery at Belmont Village, at a particular location around the country. And the goal is that when people see my photographs of the World War II veterans, that they become emotionally enthralled, right? But when they walk in and take a closer look, and there's a little piece of, there's like a quote or a short story of that veteran right next to the photograph, and then it's kind of this combining this art and history into the present moment. At Cal Poly, my senior year of college, I had a random homework assignment to take a portrait of somebody, and just coincidentally there was a retirement community around the corner from me, so I went over there and I said, do you have any interesting people to photograph? And they had this World War II hero, and his name was Randall Harris, and he told me this battle story, how he was fighting in Italy, and he triggered an S-mine, and shrapnel came out and it hit him in his guts, and his guts started to come out of his stomach, and he took his canteen belt, he cinched it around his stomach, and he kept fighting. And hearing that story as a 21-year-old in college really helped put my life into perspective. And my grandfather was in World War II, and his brother died during the Battle of the Bulge. And so I heard all these war stories from my grandpa growing up, but nothing like into deep detail, And so once I photographed that first World War II veteran, it really helped put my grandfather's war experience and his brother's loss really into perspective. And so I just began photographing World War II vets in my free time. And that's in my book. It's called The Last Good War. And people always say, like, why is it called, no war is good and all that stuff. But it's really the one war in the 20th century and really American history where there's a very clear, definite good versus evil.
So what do you think of this experience today, what Tom is up to and documenting the pictures?
I think it's a very nice deal, very nice and elaborate. I'm amazed at all the picture taking.
Have you seen the result of the work downstairs?
I saw, yes, on the wall. Yeah, I've seen that, and that's very well done.
They took us, who had some background in Japanese, so that we could then be advanced to be more capable in translation. So yes, we had the fundamentals of learning the language, but not capable enough to read and then decipher or translate. And that they sent us to the military intelligence school to further our education.
Where were you before you were enlisted?
I was in the Manzanar camp. And Manzanar camp was one of about 10 camps that were set up by the U.S. government when President Roosevelt issued Executive Order 9066, which forced the Japanese Americans to be incarcerated in 10 different camps throughout the United States. And we were behind barbed wires with soldiers guarding us. So we were very proud that Congress recognizes their mistake and rewards us for what we've done. So it was kind of a makeup for all the things that we were overlooked on. Yeah.
You proved them wrong.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
This year also marked the 50th anniversary of one of RPV's landmark restaurants, the Admiral Restaurant. Owner Wayne Judah invited elected officials as well as some longtime customers from the community to attend the official celebration. Here's more from the event.
Why do I think it's so successful? Because, well, obviously you've got a wonderful family that founded it, that kept a tradition of quality service, always putting people first, and family. See, like he's family. So everybody becomes family, whether you're here once or whether you're here 100 times. The people Wayne and his staff and the Risties before him made a point of wanting to make sure that they knew you. You meant something to them. And, of course the sunsets are wonderful to see, but the music here is fantastic. The food is amazing. And it's a gastronomic experience.
We moved here before they were open, so we've been here coming to the restaurant since they've opened. And, the kind of memory you build is when you go on the menu and you find something that you really like, you come back for it. And the hallmark of the Risti is, frankly, they don't change the recipe. It's deja vu. When your taster is set for something, you come here and it's the same thing again, and the enjoyment continues.
You know, my favorite memory, my wife is not from California. She's from the Midwest. And after we got married and moved to the South Bay, we had dinner here not too long after we had moved out. And she was just amazed that you could have both, you know, a great meal, but also such an incredible view at the same time.
I've lived in this community for 30 years, and I remember coming here as a newlywed when our in-laws came to visit, and we needed somewhere special to kind of show off our beautiful new community. And we all came here and had a fabulous dinner, and the story continues. And I think, Maria, that's what's so exceptional about this restaurant. It has really become a part of the fabric of our community, and so many of our families, you know, come every year for anniversaries, for special celebrations, for, you know, whatever it might be, and that's really, really special.
Well, I mean, it's an extraordinary milestone, 50 years. It's extraordinary when a restaurant survives 12 months, since 4 out of 5 restaurants close the first year they're in business. The average lifespan of a restaurant is 7 years. Once you hit the 50-year mark, you become an institution, right? Integral to the community, part of the community's everyday lives. And certainly, you know, 50 years, there's something special going on, and sometimes you can't even put your finger on it, but it just exists.
Well, it's just the kind of restaurant that belongs here in Palos Verdes. It has the kind of food and the ambience that is just so part of this community. And we moved here in like 64, and we started coming here, and just I've always enjoyed it.
And in sports, the big story was the return of Panther football at Peninsula High. In 2015, the program was suspended for the last 3 games of the season, but Principal Mitzi Kress vowed the program would return. And in 2016, the team was put back together from the ground up with a new coach and a new sense of Panther pride. Here's more.
It's emotional for me too. In fact, I get kind of teary thinking about it, because I last year had to make probably the toughest decision of my professional career when we suspended the games. And I only could have dreamed that we would maybe have what we have right now. And it's a dream. I never could have imagined it. All the pieces fell in place. I think we had some divine guidance. I am just full of joy and excitement.
You know, you put it back together piece by piece, starting with David Young, your new head coach. What has he brought that has really helped to make this program complete now?
He's brought a positive can-do attitude with a lot of energy and integrity. And it's interesting because I was seeking guidance and help a year ago, well, not quite a year ago, about 11 months ago, talking with people in the community, alumni, other coaches, and I called in every single football player and spoke with them. And they shared about this teacher that they had for PE at Rancho Vista, and his name was David Young, and he would be the best coach in the world. And they loved him way back when, and now he's our coach here. He doesn't give up. He doesn't give up.
What's been the biggest challenge in fielding a brand new team this year?
A commitment, getting these guys to buy into the commitment of how much harder it's going to be to start something new. Since there was no ground laid already, they really all had to come in and start from the bottom up. We didn't have anybody who was such a superstar on our team that can take us out of the depths. We had to really join together from freshman to senior now, come together and make a team.
Interesting, because you said there's not a lot of superstars, but everybody's sort of starting in the same playing field. From a coach perspective, that must be kind of refreshing.
Refreshing for me because I can see the work in progress. Refreshing for them as well, because a lot of them, whether they had something with the old coach or the old coach had an attitude toward them, I told them flat out, it's a new day, I'm a new person, and all you have to do is prove to me you want to be here and work hard. And it's turned out to be a really good thing for them, because a lot of them, I think, were happy to turn over a new leaf and get a second chance, because how many times do we really get a second chance to perform or compete?
What's it been like this year with all of the changes, especially new coaches, new team, etc.?
It's been very exciting. The coaches came in with bring a lot of excitement, a lot of enthusiasm and energy, and it's just been really great just getting out here.
Coach Young has really brought us together as a group, and we all respect one another, and we've worked through some very hard practices, so you really bond with your teammates that way.
Seems like it's been pretty cool that you guys won in front of your home crowd. Tell me about that.
Oh yeah, that was awesome. A lot of people don't really have the most confidence in us, but to start building up the confidence and the expectations from the school is pretty neat.
Is that kind of motivating to think that maybe teams aren't thinking you guys are going to do anything?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's very motivating, and we just want to come out and play our best every game.
Our new coaches have done a lot. They've brought a whole new vibe to the Peninsula Football again, and people have came out and just tried out for football, and a lot of people started to like it, and so it's become a lot bigger, and now it's back.
These coaches really brought us together as a team, and you can see all the players out here that everybody really fell in love with the coaching staff, and with Coach Young and Frenchie and all the coaches here. I mean, we went from a 27-man roster to a 50-man roster in a year, so it's amazing.
I feel a special connection to these boys because they were really hurting. They wanted to play. They were committed, and I've thanked them each for believing in Peninsula High, believing in the Panther spirit, and they're out there, and they are my heroes. So it's going to be just fabulous. I can't wait to see them play.
And this year we learned of a new roast that was brewing at the Terranea Resort. Coffee connoisseur Mark J. Dottie introduces us to the Terranea Signature Blend made by the one and only Black Coffee.
We're here at Sea Beans at Terranea, where they are serving a new brew of coffee, the Terranea Blend. Let's find out more.
We just launched a Terranea blend specifically made for the resort here, and it's really exciting. We had an opportunity to get with the staff here, the executive chef here, and we actually did a tasting of coffee from different regions from around the world, and we gave them the opportunity to select and choose coffees that they thought were exceptional and that would be a good fit for the menus and the lifestyle here at Terranea. So we put those coffees together, and we made a special blend just for Terranea Resort.
How often do you come for a cup of coffee at Sea Beans?
Several times a day.
And why do you prefer this coffee shop over others?
Oh, it's close. It's wonderful coffee. Great stuff here. So it's easy.
What do you think about the Terranea Resort?
Oh, it's fantastic. Is there a better one out there?
We are coffee drinkers, you know. We're from New York, so it's nice to have a place where we can come down and get some coffee in the morning.
Black coffee is available exclusively in Sea Beans as well as in Marcel. So anyone wanting to come down, have a cup of coffee, and experience the black coffee blend should do so in Sea Beans as well as Marcel.
Not only do we hire guys that are coming out of foster care and out of gangs and out of prison, but we also give a resource, financial resource, back into the nonprofit to help shore it up. We have a men's home in the inner city in South LA, and part of the resources go to provide for the needs there at the home, and as well as preparing to launch businesses in the future. We are not only selling coffee at Terranea Resort, we sell coffee to other restaurants and resorts, hotels, businesses all around Los Angeles. And if you want to buy from us directly, you can go to our website, which is blackcoffeela.com. The Terranea blend is an exceptional coffee. It's really nice. The blend that we most commonly use is our extra bold blend. And it kind of goes with
What's the sound of that? Sounds really good.
Well, here's the thing. We are an air roaster. So only about 1% of coffee roasters in the world roast the way we roast. And so what that does is it allows us to get a really deep, dark, rich cup of coffee that isn't burnt and bitter tasting. And so that's where our extra bold comes in. And it's also part of our mission. We're about inspiring a bold awakening. And so in that, we're a bold people. We're going to give you a bold cup of coffee, and we're going to challenge people. Go and be bold.
Well, you know where to find me. I'll be right here at Sea Beans at Terranea having the boldest cup of coffee in town. For RPV TV, this is Mark J. Dottie.
And finally, in 2016, we saw a spike in crime on the peninsula, and here at RPV TV, we produced a public service announcement addressing that issue. And that PSA won a National Telly Award. In case you missed it, here's our award-winning PSA. Recently, there has been an increase of burglaries in our community. The Sheriff's Department and the Police Department are working hard to combat the problem, and they would like you to get involved. If you see something, say something. If you see something out of the ordinary in your neighborhood, take pictures and call the police. Be on the lookout for unidentified vehicles or persons in your neighborhood, and write down license plate numbers and vehicle descriptions so you can give accurate information to law enforcement. Get to know your neighbors and form a neighborhood watch. Let neighbors know when you're out of town so they can watch over your house. Remember to lock your doors even when you're home. Secure gates and backyard access at all times. Keep valuables out of sight and arm your home with an alarm. Never let strangers inside of your home. Request identification from people who claim they need to work on your house or say they're from the utilities company. If you see something, say something. Let's prevent crime together. For more information on crime prevention, go to the website lameda.lasd.org. And that will do it for us. Thanks so much for watching, and from everyone here at RPV TV, Happy New Year and make it a great day.